Well, good evening. Certainly a beautiful day today, but some changes on the horizon as we look at the jet stream pattern. That really details what kind of weather is headed.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition of News 2 honoring the Low Country's chief meteorologist, Rob Fowler. Rob is celebrating a very special milestone with us here at News 2. 30 years ago, Rob left Green Bay, Wisconsin and headed south here to Charleston. Little did he know, 30 years later, he'd still be here. Tonight we're going to take a look back at some of the highlights from his 30 years, including that famous mustache. But we're also going to let you get to know Rob as a co-worker, a husband, and a father. We start off tonight taking a look back at some of the highlights from the last 30 years.
Where were you during Hurricane Hugo?
For News 2's chief meteorologist Rob Fowler, the answer is working through the storm to keep the people of the Low Country safe. At the time, Rob was just 2 years into his career in Charleston. Prior to the Low Country, Rob worked in Green Bay, Wisconsin, arriving in Charleston in September of 1987. He's often remembered by many adults as the meteorologist who led them through Hurricane Hugo. At the time, he was the only meteorologist at News 2 and worked for 69 hours straight. Since then, Rob has weathered many major weather events in the South Carolina Low Country, including in recent years, the 2014 ice storms, the historic flooding of 2015, Hurricane Matthew just last year, and in September, Irma. Rob has become a pillar in the community, not just for his work on air, but also for his community service, including being awarded the Order of the Palmetto. Every holiday season for the last 2 decades, Rob devotes his time and resources to helping Toys for Tots make Christmas brighter for families in the Low Country. Not only does he raise awareness on air, but he and his family usually give up their Christmas morning to play Santa and deliver toys themselves to some of the families.
Grab a couple Barbies.
Over the years, Rob has visited about every school in the Low Country. He spends his mornings visiting the students to educate them on weather, and some of them that he's visited years ago have even become co-workers in recent years and have fond memories of meeting Mr. Fowler. In 2005, Rob was diagnosed with kidney cancer. He beat the disease, though, and is cancer-free to this day. However, Rob's battle with cancer would change the way the people of the Low Country viewed him forever. In 2007, live on air, Rob shaved off his famous mustache to raise awareness for the American Cancer Society. The community has missed the mustache ever since. But in 2013, Rob brought the mustache back, but just for a month. The men at News 2 began taking part in Movember, so now every year, the Low Country gets to see the mustache they all loved so much back on air for the month. In 2015, cancer struck the Fowler family again. Rob's wife, Cara, was diagnosed with breast cancer. Following the news, Rob hooked up with Making Strides Against Breast Cancer and got the entire station involved in raising money and awareness. And the good news is, Cara has also conquered her battle. Just a show of how strong the Fowler family really is. This month, Rob celebrates 30 years at News 2, and we all look forward to keeping him around for another 30.
You know, there are things we come to expect here in the Low Country. Heat, humidity, mosquitoes, seersucker suits and flip-flops, the Cooper River Bridge Run, and our beautiful beaches. We also come to expect the calming baritone of Rob Fowler when there is severe weather or a hurricane barreling toward us. I recently sat down with someone whom I can only describe as one of my closest friends, and we talked about his 30 years of fate, family, and forecasting.
The temperature is sitting at 84 degrees right here up on the roof.
I actually wanted to be a pro baseball player, but that didn't work out. So
Pro baseball.
I love baseball. I still to this day love baseball.
But the diamond, ironically,
From the time I was, yay high, I would throw the ball around.
would not be his wheelhouse.
It didn't work out, but that's okay. The fallback plan worked out okay.
It would be the microphone.
I think we want to head back to
That would give Rob Fowler
transmitting from. This is our backup
a voice.
TV2, our studios as we.
I grew up in Atlanta.
It was in the 80s. This Georgia Southern grad traveled a few hours east to land his first TV job, Savannah's WJCL.
When I got to Savannah, started doing weather.
And if you turn on the radio on weekends, you could catch Rob's voice, but not his name.
I kind of moonlighted on the weekends at a local radio station. I went by the moniker Jay Taylor. I didn't use my real name. I used a fake name.
Rob left radio and WJCL.
It was hard to leave WJCL because they gave me my first break.
He landed at a station just across town.
So I spent another 3+ years at WTOC before I ventured off to Green Bay.
That freezing trek had a heartwarming payoff.
That there is a reason for everything. I met my beautiful wife, Cara, in Green Bay, so God sent me up there for a reason.
2 years in Packer country ended when Rob was offered a job in the low country of South Carolina at WCBD TV. The year, 1987.
A little after midnight in
You know, in our business, Carolyn, we've unfortunately seen it all. Hugo, I was young. I was just as shell-shocked as everybody else. I just kind of went on instinct and just did what I thought I needed to do. Personally, it was very devastating, but professionally is probably one of the best things to happen to my career because of that. It taught me so much. People are hanging on your every word, you know. They're basically determining what they may do based on what you're telling them. And there is a big responsibility in that.
Consistent, calm, controlled. Rob became the Wizard of Weather for families, schools, and businesses.
And they're counting on you, the Wizard of Weather, to finish strong.
But at home, he was just dad to Trey, Kylie, and Tate.
I'm proud of every single one of them. Trey is a pharmacist at the Medical University of South Carolina, the Children's Hospital. Kylie is a second-grade teacher. Love what she does. Tate's a freshman at Clemson. I wouldn't say I'm a completely private person. My kids will say, Dad, maybe you need to be more private, you know, because I probably give away a little bit too much of what's going on in their lives, but I'm proud of them.
But Rob admits 12 to 15-hour work days meant missing a lot of his children's events.
So it's tough to say, but this is what we do. I love what I do, and it's just part of the job.
The man known for his spot-on predictions did not foresee the medical challenges that were ahead beginning in 2005.
And the radiologist comes out and says, good news and bad news. The good news is there's nothing under your right arm. The bad news is there's something on your left kidney.
The cancerous tumor was caught early, but Rob's left kidney had to be removed.
And I've been cancer-free ever since.
But he would face cancer again. In April of 2015, Cara, who had undergone regular mammograms, was diagnosed with breast cancer.
She had no history of breast cancer.
She bravely stepped into the spotlight and shared her story with the world.
I really think she made a difference. I know she made a difference. People told us that after seeing her story on TV, that made them go get a mammogram, or that made them accept the diagnosis a little differently.
Cara has been cancer-free for more than 2 years. There is no doubt about the Fowler impact. A local band paid tribute to Rob's signature stash, which was shaved back in 2007. Rob explained how it all happened.
Apparently that night they were having a meeting with the other bandmates about a name for the band. And he kind of came to the meeting and said, you know, Rob Fowler came in here and I kind of missed the mustache. Let's see if we can call the band Fowler's Mustache. So I got a call right here in this office from Thomas saying, Mr. Fowler, we're throwing this idea around, would you be okay with it? I'm like, are you kidding me? Go for it, you know?
His list of accolades are long. South Carolina's highest civilian honor, the Order of the Palmetto, keys to the city of Charleston and the town of Mount Pleasant, more than a dozen times being voted best local meteorologist by readers of Charleston City paper. But being inducted into the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Silver Circle has a special place in Rob's heart and everyone's memory, because Rob was on air covering Hurricane Irma instead of accepting the award in Atlanta.
If there was ever a plan B, this was it. That I did not miss it that much because I knew Cara was there accepting it for me, and I think that made it all worthwhile. And I could do what I needed to do here, and at the same time, she did an awesome job accepting the award.
For 3 decades, he stayed loyal to his commitment to do his best. And TV viewers have been loyal to him, asking him to be a part of their families, and he has in turn shared his life with them.
When I first came here, Carolyn, I made a pact with myself and Cara and eventually the kids that if we're going to live here, we're going to be a part of this community.
And Rob, we are so happy you are a man of your word. Coming up, you will hear from the 4 most important people in Rob's life.